No, just kidding. Is the stream is running? It should be running now. Hello Don, hello Jonathan, hello Andy. Oh, Satai, hello mate, how are you? Byron, hello. Evening to you too, sir. Cool. We're here. I'm not going to mess around. I was going to do some stuff and talk about things, but I can see that this might take a little while to do, so I'm just going to get on with it. Oh, did you miss the rest of the live streams? I tell you, I usually get about I don't know, 12 or so on average on the live streams. Actually, on the night, sometimes it's been a bit more than that, and then people watch it afterwards, and there's like well over 100 views. So right, so actually, let's show you. I've got to show you the pinball machine. Oh, that's a leg just fallen over. I should really put them somewhere else. So this is where we are starting. There's literally nothing in there. That's the lid for that. I've actually hooked up a couple of the buttons, but down at this side. But apart from that, nothing else. Everything is ready to go. What else did I did do something else. I put one leg on. And we can see here. Apart from that, it's actually sitting on a workbench. It's a little bit, well, it's not too wobbly actually, it's quite stable. And today, to prepare, so I did some bits that I thought would just be dull. So I glued up I put some hot glue on the wires on the speakers that go in the back glass. Looking forward to this. Sorry, I'm leaning in front of your picture. I can't see the chat from here. Playing StarCraft on my second monitor. Looking forward to this. Yes, me too, Satar. And you're doing good. I'm excited to catch one of the live streams. Oh, I thought we'd seen that. I'm on the heck on yours too. Yeah, come to the Discord, Andy. I don't know if you're already there. I lose track of who's where. And share your build. We've got a section for people to share their builds. Right, is that as high as that goes? Okay. First things first is get this screen in the back box. Actually, I need to quickly give it a clean. Oh, sorry. Put that up there. I've got my stupid hat on again. Cool. Let's I love compressed air. Actually, I should have run my compressor a little bit more because a little bit to give it some charge because it's not plugged in. There we go. Wonderful. I'll have to do that to the other screen later, so remind me where the rag is. And let's take you back over here. See, the other legs are propped up there and one's on the floor. Oh. Clumsy. Get you as close as I can. Cool. I will swap the cameras. Oh, I need to take the screws out first. I've left the screws in place so that I don't lose them because I've used different size screws for different places, and it's really easy to lose track of which ones go where. Let's whip these out of here. I was really pleased. Let me show you the other side of this. Actually, while it's here, this I was really pleased with this finish. This is using my airbrush and just black model primer. It's come out so. I mean, there is a little bit of texture there from the MDF, but so much better than than when I painted it before with brushes. it looks ugly, really, really ugly. It's pretty cold in here tonight. Yeah, the airbrush, it's just like a super cheap airbrush. I paid £28 or something like that for it on Amazon. And I tried to put just normal like acrylic paint, almost poster paint. Reese, hello mate, nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. Reese is YouTube royalty as far as I'm concerned. Oh, another leg's about to go. Let's put those over there before I kick them all over. You see behind me the dust sheet is up covering my door. It's so cold in here because it's a garage basically. It's a single skinned wall and I get freezing. So I've had to improvise. Here we go. This is such a tight fit. And I can't be too persuasive with it because this section here, the actual part of the housing that holds all the board of the monitor, is only held on with duct tape. I think what I'm going to do before I sell this on, what I'm going to do is take all this duct tape off, strip all this back out, and I'll epoxy resin it onto the onto this back panel. See, I don't know your name. Laptop Retrospective. He's a really cool guy on Twitter. You should follow him. He has some. So let's talk about some of our friends here in chat. So Reese first, because he was there first. Does amazing videos. He only has one downside, and he's a bit of an Atari fan. I know, but he actually takes it really well. He's probably going to leave now. Oh, that might not be in exactly the right place, but yeah, Reese has a really good YouTube channel called Control Alt Reese, and he's exploded this year. I think he's bust 2,500 subs recently, and he does some. Thomas, hello Thomas. He does some amazing videos. Some really interesting stuff on retro tech. So if you are at all interested in that sort of thing, Control Alt Reese is the place to look. He's a prolific YouTuber as well. He did my favourite one recently was the Atari video system thing, which was just like right up my street. It was so interesting and so quirky and unusual. And it had woodwork in it, which was fantastic. It was really, really good. But yeah, that's Control Alt Reese. Go check him out. I'm literally working on that. All right. You just tweeted a pic. I'll have a look after. And he's also a really good guy to follow on Twitter. I like people with a good sense of humour. So Thomas of Laptop Retrospective. His YouTube channel is also called Laptop Retrospective, and I stumbled across him looking at reviews of old, not necessarily old laptops, but he does like long-term reviews of hardware, and yeah, he's a high quality YouTuber, so he's another one to keep an eye on. Big channel as well. It's good to have friends in high places. December was really good. So Reese is talking about December, where a load of like-minded YouTubers did videos on DOS based. Well, it's DOS based everything. It wasn't DOS based gaming. I think you released a couple of videos, didn't you? And that was really good because you just had to follow the hashtag on Twitter, and that gave you access to a load of really cool stuff that someone my age would find very interesting, or did find very interesting. Right, so that's the monitor in. Let's get the speakers in. Now, one thing I haven't done here is mark these left and right, so I might have to take these out at a later date and swap them around, but that's no problem. Oh, this is one place I didn't save the screws. Actually, this one's got red wire and this one's got a white wire, live wire. So I'm going to guess that the red one is right, which would be that one, because I'm looking at the back of it. Let's put it around the right way. I'm sure they'll do it next year, Thomas. Right, so I'm guessing at the right size screws for this one. They look a bit long. Yeah, let's go down a size. I got all my screws from B&Q recently. And they do pick and mix, and it's like I am literally a kid in a sweet shop where all the sweets are screws. I can't wait to play this. I'm so excited. I've been every time which is admittedly not very often, every time I've not had something to do this week, I look at this and think, maybe I can just build a bit of it. Can I just put a little bit of it together? But I really wanted to. All the other live streams, I'm pretty sure I did all the other live streams at the same time of the week. So I wanted to keep things consistent. Ooh. There we go, found the hole. Oh, almost slipped into Mark Fix's stuff there. Hello, Terry. Terry Bailey is my next door neighbour. Terry is from Project Terrycade. He owns Terrycade. Test it before I put it together. Yeah, no, I haven't done that. Yeah, Terry's one of the only people in the world that I know who owns one of my machines, because all of the others are just random strangers. Right. So that's that part done. Now I've got the to hold the back doors on. I've got to fit these, and that one says right, but yep. So that's that side, because we have to work backwards. So these slot in here like this, and they've got these T-nuts on the back, and then I'll show you the doors actually. I've got 2 doors to go on this back box, because I couldn't do just one door. No, that would be too easy. I had to do. So Lee, how many builds have you made? They're out in the wild. Oh, good question. I'll come to that in a sec. That is a good question. I've got 2 doors to go on this. One is a small door to go up the top here. I won't show it now. You'll see it later if you're still here. Andy's just posted something on our Discord. Cool. Yeah, and then so the top one is a small door, kind of door. They're all screwed in on this backboard because I don't need permanent access to this. But the top one has the exhaust fan, which we're going to have to connect up and wire actually. Yeah, I haven't got a wire. It's another job tonight. I did mean to do that earlier. Right, so how many of my machines are out in the wild? So the first one I made, the first attempt I made at an arcade cabinet, was a monster, absolutely monstrous thing. It was a full-size cabinet, and this was a long time ago when 15-inch LCD screens were the thing that was available to make any kind of project with. You didn't have 19 and 24 and any size bigger than 15-inch screen was a luxury. Right. So it had a 15-inch screen and a full-size cabinet. It looked horrendous. It was not pretty. And it had a massive, great control panel that 4 players could play on. It had the spinner. I don't know if you can see, but on my arcade control panel there's a silver disc right under my finger. No, it's not, Andy. I'll tell you in a sec. That silver disc is a spinner that my stepfather made. He actually machined it for me out of solid aluminium, and it has a VHS bearing, a head bearing as the spinner. It used a mouse as the encoder. So the base shaker. No. So what were you? This is where the control board, the KL25Z, lives. The other thing next to it is a fan. I don't think there's anything else that... I really should put the legs on this, actually. Let's get the legs on before I put that on and it falls over. Let's put the legs on. Right, so I've got... Spin you around again. My tray of goodies here. This is all buttons. The white one. The bolts for the legs. These are all... bolts they're the bolts for the back box. These are the bolts for the lockdown bar, and they're the bolts for the screen, and they're the bolts for the back door. That's the power supply that blew up, the one that I kept the capacitor. Where did that go? Where's the capacitor gone? Oh, it's probably got knocked off the back. Yeah, a capacitor blew in it, and I repaired it with my new solder station the other day, which let's go around that way, which I was quite pleased and chuffed with. Where can you see me do the legs? Let's put you over here. Right. I need some bolts. I better do the one at the front first. I know you can't see it very clearly, but if it's going to fall one way, it'll go that way. So I'll show you these legs. These are proper Bally Pinball legs. These are expensive. This is one of the biggest expenses of the whole build, and they come with these brackets with the threaded insert in them, and it's actually a bit longer with 2 bolts in, and I had to chop them in half because of the, I don't know if you remember the extensions that I had to do on the bottom of the cabinet to accommodate these legs. So one of the bolts is actually underneath the base of the cabinet and one's inside the cabinet. So I've had to chop these in half, and this one needs fixing. I hadn't got around to it. It's also in a bit of an awkward position. Alright, I won't be able to see chat for a second while I'm over here. I had a nightmare with these bolts. I forgot to order enough of them in the first instance. I ordered 4 legs and 4 bolts, which was a really stupid mistake to make, and I ended up having to pay postage again on the on just 4 bolts. And it's in the guy actually
did me a favour. I contacted him and said, "Oh, sorry about this. Would you mind giving me a break?" And he did. He had 2 levels of postage, and he sent it on the cheaper level. And it was my stupid mistake. But I also had to order something else at the same time. I think I ordered springs or something for the plunger. So the plunger came with a really, really heavy spring that was violent, and I put a light duty spring in it instead, and it's so nice now. I can show you that in a sec. Right, that one is nearly on. That's perfect. Don't have to go crazy tight. All of the spraying of the lacquer and the rubbing down I've been doing, I picked these legs up earlier and they were like a milky white. What's that? So I've had to wash these today. Give them a wipe down with some nice cleaning wipes. Hey J-Thing, the guy that left my most favourite YouTube comment ever. Sorry, I'm in the way. I am number 17 on J-Thing's most favourite things to happen to him in 2020. Which that cracked me up. That was really, really kind thing to say. I absolutely love getting comments on YouTube. Somehow I've turned off notifications on YouTube. I didn't do it intentionally, but that's what's happened. And so I have to keep checking, and I get a bit obsessed about checking for tweets, for comments. Right, one more to go. I shouldn't shout because this is a really good mic, and I realised that the last time I listened back to the last stream, and I thought, why are you shouting, you idiot? The microphone's right next to your face. Right, then we can get it off of this workbench. And I haven't seen it with the legs on. I've done nothing to it since I painted it. I haven't seen it with the legs on since it's been painted, so it's already looking really cool. I will move the camera, actually I'll move the table so you can see what's going on. Oh, that's noisy, so I'll do it that way. Yeah, these bolts, when I bought these bolts, and I only bought 4, I thought that's okay. I'll just use some bolts that I can get any bolts. So I found some bolts that I thought were 10mm bolts, 10mm thread that these are. These aren't 10mm thread, they're 3/16 or something, they're imperial. Yeah, that didn't work. Right. That's like you're just as bad as I am for watching. Yeah, comments. Thanks, Reese. Take care, mate. See you soon. Okay. I think I'm just gonna walk over this way with it. I forget how tall it is. Right, let's get rid of this. That needs to go back in the shed later, or tomorrow. Or I don't want to put it there because stuff's there. Oh, I'm so excited to see this. And I'm going to turn it around. Put it up that way a little bit. Ooh, this garage floor is so uneven. And it's got adjustable legs on this, so Right. Legs. Doesn't look better in real life than it does on the screen. The screen flattens the angles. Right. So now we've got legs on. Let's turn it back around and attach this back box. And I need a drink. Oh, that's the camera. Arcades. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Actually, I need to show you something over here first. This is something I'm quite proud of. Oh, look, speaker covers. I have one job left to do on the arcade cabinet, on the pinball cabinet. I'll talk about that in a sec. But this bit of wood is probably the piece of wood that has the most work into it on the whole table, actually. I suppose the lockdown bar, which is looking extraordinarily sexy, has quite a lot of work into it, but it really is. This is all just like sanding and making sure it's flat. But this has these two ends cut like this. It's a very specific width. It also has a bevel on this edge of 12 degrees, so that everything on the table, this angle here is 12 degrees. The playfield slope is 12 degrees, and so the glass and the monitor, everything is 12 degrees, and so that's got a 12 degree slope on it, and that goes in here. So there's a little notch underneath these side bits here, and that just slots up there. And later on I need to put some epoxy resin underneath that, just to hold it in place so it doesn't fall off. When you pull the glass out, the glass actually just sits underneath this, but it doesn't sit, this doesn't sit right on top of the glass, it sits just above it. But yeah, that's got to be there before we put it back in the table. Alright. I believe these ones are the blue bolts. I 3D printed these thumb screws just to make it a little bit easier to get things in and out. Having to put a socket under there is just a pain. Might have cut that one a bit short. Again, pick and mix at B&Q. Well, this one feels a little bit long. These are the right ones? Yeah, the black ones are the lockdown bar and the white ones are for the screen. That's it. That's that locked in place. I'm just going to drape that over the front. Actually, no, I'm not. So this will need. So this has been wired in to this kettle lead socket here with a switch on it. And do I want that to go that way? This is mounted on here. This is another reason why I want to put to fix this box better on the back of this monitor, because it's going to have things pulled and pushed. There's so little room in there. So little room. Right, so that's the back box is nearly done. I've got to tidy the wires up with cable ties later. The next thing I need to do, if I turn it around, it's going to be a bit heavier now. It's going to, what was that? Oh, the heater. Actually, move it back a bit so you can have a view. I'm caught on a cable. Well, that was nearly a laptop falling over. There. Starting to look a bit better. It will look even better when the glass is on and that can go on. It's not lined up. Like that. Need to put a white button in there. The trim. Lewis! Hello, mate. Lewis is my rock through this build. He's kept me going. Him and Satire keep me sane. Satire keeps my feet on the ground, and Lewis keeps me going. Where shall I put you? So let's go here because I've got to put some stuff into the back there first. Black cable ties, Terry. I just bought some a little while ago. Always too late. But next time I need some, thank you. Yeah, I do. I keep looking at numbers. I'm terrible. But 380 subscribers today. Woohoo! Right. Now, what do we do next? So I've got over here, that's most of the insides. So let's just unpack a bit of this. Let's get rid of the lockdown bar, put it somewhere safe. That's most of the inside. Some more of it's over there. Or do I do the buttons first? No, let's get something inside it first. So the only thing I haven't done, that I haven't finished, is the coin door. And the reason for that was because, and like a lot of things on here, I procrastinate until I make a decision, until I finally work out what it is I want. And I've realised, because what I was going to do for tonight was just make a temporary door, paint it black, and mount it on there with magnets. So I was just going to mount some magnets, drill some holes in this where it was going to overlap, and put some magnets here, and then just have this like held on with magnets just for tonight. So it looked complete, more complete than it does. But I couldn't bring myself to do it for some reason, and I realised it was because I didn't want to put just a big black square on there. I'd rather just have a hole. And now I know what I'm going to do. I am going to use some oak. So this is some strip oak. This is the same white oak as the lockdown bar and the trim's made of. I'm going to make a panel big enough to go over this with like a recessed centre, so that it goes into the hole but also overlaps the hole, out of oak. And I don't know what I'm going to put on the front of it yet, but it's going to just be held on by magnets so you can get in there easily. I'm probably going to put the volume up this end so that you can just pop that open and turn the volume down rather than going around the back. And so anyway, it's going to be made of oak. Let's have a quick slurp, and it'll be the same level of finish as this. Obviously, it won't have this beautiful pattern on it. Oh, it's something I was so chuffed with. I wonder if you can get close enough to see this. So this is all exactly the same piece of wood. The trim and this are all from exactly the same length of oak that I bought early last year. But the light's a bit too bright in here to see it. That's better when I take the white balance down with my hand. So this has this beautiful figuring on it. Well, beautiful. What do you call this? Wood grain. But this has, it's just bleeding out too much. Can you Look, there you can see those lines going across there. They're all over. There's some diagonal ones on the other side, and these ones go across this way. They're all over this. It's called figuring, and it's part of the wood grain, but it doesn't run with the wood grain. It's really, really beautiful. Right. Right, what was I doing? Bass speaker. I want to put the bass speaker and its amps in first, because I know that needs to go in before most things, before I lose access to everything. I've got a mess of cables over here. Well, one of them I don't need because I repaired the power supply for the monitor. Oh. Let's just put all these on here for now. Okay. Ha ha ha. Let's have a look at what we're going to have to do. So all of the this is basically all of the audio. It's got the bass speaker here underneath, and the amps for the exciters on top. Oh, that's my compressor empty. So the amps are all terminated here. I've got all the wires. They're all marked off, so I can just put those. I could put those in before I try and screw it in, actually. One thing I've just noticed is that back here at these brackets, I 3D printed these brackets to screw into the bottom of that bass speaker, and there's a hole in this side and a hole in this side, so that whichever side I can put a screw in. But now I did have a hole in this one. I did have the screw in this side, but the this power supply box that I made recently is going to get in the way of actually doing that. Never mind. So this is the front speakers, front right and front left. So let's do the other ones first, because that makes more sense. This one is back right. All of the wires that go in here are all tinned, so that they don't, because they've been in and out of these connectors so many times, they're going to last a little bit longer. I'm not sure if that's going to impact on the quality of the audio. Oops, sorry. And that one goes. This is just a bit easier to do before I screw it in, otherwise I really struggle. That one's coming out. So do you know how long this has been, this build? Has anybody, I mean, most of you that are chatting have been following from the beginning, but it's been September the 6th was when we started this. September the 6th is 4 months ago. And I have to be honest, I thought it was going to take 1, maybe 2 months. It's been hard work. It's definitely been a journey. I've got some stray bits of wire I'm just going to nip off here. Okay, so where we got? Front right. Right is there. Did I pull that one out? No, I didn't. So I'm not gonna, I won't be building anything as crazy as this very soon. I definitely will do something as crazy as this again, because I think that's the whole point. That's what I'm here for. I'd like to make a full size. I'd like to make a full size for someone else. If anyone wants I will custom paint a full size cabinet for someone else, and you basically just have to pay me the cost of the parts because I really enjoy doing this. But it's a really expensive hobby to fund yourself. I've this machine owes me quite a lot of money. Wasn't Mrs. Crisp Ramonora watch? Terry, I mean, if you buy it, I haven't got far to take it. Oh, another comment. I need a second screen. My next project is Sigma Derby horse racing game. Been more plans for 2 years now. I decided to do the pin table first. Horse racing game, is that like a mechanical thing? Where you turn like a crank. I will never forget. So I'm 52 years old. I've just turned 52 years old. My birthday was New Year's Eve. You all missed it. Actually, Jonathan didn't. He wished me a happy birthday. And a couple of others of you did as well. It is that. So yeah, I'm 52 years old. I need a dumpy screwdriver. What did I do with that? Where's my dumpy? I put that somewhere for safekeeping. Maybe I could use this. Yeah, that'll do. So when I was a little younger. Oh, sorry. When I was a little younger than this. Actually, that's bad light. Let's do it on the other one. That's better. That's me. Oh, God knows how old I am, but I was a little younger than that. Probably 6 or 7 years old. We went on a family cruise because it was the thing to do back then in the 70s. 70s. Before this, that picture was taken before computers, before home computers. In fact, I've got my hands. That picture was Christmas Day, and my Christmas present. I can't find the hole. Don't tell Mark fixes stuff. That picture was Christmas Day. Whoops. And I was opening my present, and I worked out what it was by seeing the very top of it, and it was a top-loading tape deck, which ended up being the tape deck I used on my ZX81 a year later. Anyway, so the mechanical horse thing, I can remember we went on a family cruise when I was, like I say, much younger. This is not a really good screwdriver for this, but at least it's going to stop the back flipping up. That's good enough. I can address that later when I find the proper screwdriver. We went on a family cruise, and one of the evening entertainments, one of the evening entertainments on this ship, it's a Mediterranean cruise, which sounds fancy, but it really wasn't. Rich, how you doing? Top line tape desk with a pull-out handle at the front to carry it around. Yes, exactly that. And I did, and it had a battery compartment in it, and I used to walk around recording things with it. That was weird. So yeah, on this cruise. Sorry, Andy, I'll get to the point in a sec. Oh God, that's good. one of the evening entertainments is, they call it something, I can't remember, this horse racing thing, and they had this room where they set up retro podcast. They set up this massive track with the horses all at one end, and they would invite people up to take part. And one part of our party, because this was the 70s and everybody was wearing all their medallions, and the women were wearing their so the men were wearing their chunky gold identity bracelets. Reference you from Only Fools and Horses there, or Friends. They would go up and they would have a crank each, and they'd have to get their horse to go down the track as fast as possible. And part of our party, and this is just one of those memories I've got, and I must have been 5 or 6, so it's very early, of this woman who was with us, because our family went away with 2 other families, and one of the other mums got up there, and she was all dressed up to the nines, and she had all of her fancy finery on, and this massive, great, what do you call the bracelets that have the little things on, the bits on? One of those bracelets with just loads of junk all over it, and she was like, "Arr!" And her face, phlegm, spittle was going everywhere. She's so I've always had a soft spot for one of those. Charm bracelet, thank you, Rich. What a memory that is. Oh look, this was the paint. This is the paint that I used to paint the cabinet that I mixed up from this, which is interior wood and metal paint. It's like a satin wood type paint, and some lighter blue emulsion, and it's separated. But I mixed up all of this and a little bit more than this, but I mixed up so much of it and then used just that tiny bit out the top to paint the whole thing. It went so ridiculously far, but I was terrified that if I didn't mix up enough, that I would get halfway, run out of paint, have to mix up some more, and it would look different. I'd have to do the whole lot again. So I thought, just mix up a load. Right, where are we? So I've got to find somewhere for the volume control. Wrong camera. I have to find somewhere for the volume control. This is the volume control, and it's an awkward shape because it's kind of tapered, and it's got no way of fixing it to anything. So I can't fix it to the outside. On Terrycade, I actually carved the back of the cabinet in your one, Terry, and because it is exactly the same control as this. And slotted this in, which works really, really well, but I didn't have any room. I suppose I could have done there, but that was a lot of work, and I decided not to do that again. I thought I would just put it inside somewhere, so because with a pinball table, you kind of have a door at each end, so it's not so difficult to do that. Oh, we've got to put the cable for the speaker in, for the fan at the back. I need some cable because this is going to all be buttoned up. It's actually important to make sure that the cooling is sorted this time. Before it's never had its doors on yet, and they're all ready to go. I'm looking at the doors now. I don't know if you can see me. They're down here, and they are ready to rock. Right, so I've got a 5-volt on the motherboard down. When the motherboard sits in here, which we'll do in a sec. Is there any reason I can't do that now? Yeah, I want to run this underneath it. Let's put those out of the way. Oh, in fact, that one, let's put that over there. This is the reset button cable that runs underneath the motherboard, so I'm just gonna shove that through that hole at the back because that's where the button goes. We'll put the button on in a minute. And let's get the PC in here. I think that should be good. I've been so nervous of this. This has been sitting in this box like this for I don't know. It must have been all of December. At least I can't remember the last time I had the PC in the right place, and it's felt a bit exposed, to be honest. Right. Oh, I don't know if I just scratched one of those side trims then. No, it's alright. There's no screw in that. That was lucky. That one goes... I've got silver markings on the bottom of this to show me where to line it up, roughly. So that the screws go into the holes that they're supposed to. Okay, mate. See you later. Best neighbour in the world. Best neighbour in the world is our Terry. Ooh, that's not gonna go there. That's got to go there. There we go. It's just clicked into place. Oh, so I've had to change the way I did the masking off the bezel on the glass, so that's something to look forward to later when I finally put it together. Still got to wire the buttons, which is pretty much just plugging them in. Can you see the... Oh, this is awesome. See that? That is so nice. The only thing with this is you can't twist it. You kind of, when you grab it, you want to pull it and twist at the same time. But you can't do that. Surely Terry could watch you on the door social distance. No. We are under very strict lockdown here. Personally, we've been locked down since March last year. But Terry's poked his head in the door occasionally when I was making Terrycade. But the other problem with that satire is it's freezing cold outside, and I'm not opening that door for no one. Right, I think that's a fan header. But that is possibly not. That's one thing I haven't tested on this, is this new fan has actually got a fan header. The fans that I had before I just wired into the 12 or the 5 volt. Did it 12 first and it was too noisy because they're rubbish fans. And then I did it... What's going on there? What's that for? Oh, that must have popped out. Okay. And then I put it in the 5 volt to run them a bit slower, but it was still a bit noisy because they're rubbish fans. I still got one of the rubbish fans at the back, but I wanted to test this one, and I couldn't do it until I put the... Well, I could do it, but I didn't want to do it until I put the PC together. Right, that just needs a bit of a crimp. It's not quite tight enough. Right, I should get on with this. I'm talking way too much. Okay. I'm trying to think where the best place for you to be while I do this on the side is going to be. I think if I put you around here, like this. Here we go. That gives you a better view. Ah, I need a drink. Sorry, I read Reese's message first. What is the diameter of the plunger mounting circle? I bought the Williams plunger, but it was too big to fit my design. The actual hole in the front, the hole in the front, oh, I can't get close to that. Here we go. I haven't done it up too tight. I've still there's some screw holes in the in the front here as well that I've basically ignored so far. Right, if I measured that, 18mm. I should have guessed that because most no, actually are they 18? No, they're 28, the buttons. Whoops. And Reese said, man is a genius, look at all that gubbins. That's a box full of gubbins. I'm quite proud of my gubbins there, actually. The first iteration that I made of the PC mounting board was not pretty. It was flexible. And being a bit of a cheapskate at heart, I used, actually I've got some here. This is off of the back of an old bookcase. You can see it on this one. I'm all for recycling stuff, but this is it's not just thin, it's cheap. And the PC motherboard was flexing, which is not a good idea. So I believe. Right, so I need pliers, and check the chat. Byron says, I've decided to realise I can't actually concentrate on two things at once. I am no longer playing StarCraft, but as you should be. Not be. Just outside the silver. Do you want the diameter of the diameter of that front bit is 36mm. Okay, hope that's helpful. More gubbins than I've ever created in my life. This bit of gubbins here, the KL25Z, I'm incredibly... I've said it multiple times how impressed I am with that. It's amazing. Right, that's the main USB lead for that. I know Byron's Hasbeer Plays Games is a bit of an electronics whiz. The guy makes his own PCBs and stuff to make things like video encoders for retro systems. Which at some point, I need to put some buttons in this first. At some point, I'm going to tap him up and find out if it's something I should be doing, because I'm going to be getting into a bit of retro tech. In fact, I've got some retro tech. You might have seen on Twitter. I was given by my best friend, who I've known since I was 7. And he really is truly a really nice guy. I'm so lucky to have him as a friend. I've got some amazing friends. Like, some of them are in here right now. In fact, I feel bad now because I haven't given him a shout out for this. But Rich, who is in here as either Newbie5 or Zebwen, is also an amazing person and one of the best friends I've ever had. He gave me some memory. This started off with here he is, Idiot's Inc. Oh yeah, Idiot's Inc. is Rich, the one with the yellow face. You're okay too. He gave me some memory for this. Sent it up. I actually I never thought it would work, but it did, because it's like Corsair memory with massive great heat sinks on it. And this is just like, this is a HP something. Small form factor PC. And I didn't think it was going to work. Yeah, black ones. But it did. So this has got 16 gig in it now, instead of the 8 it came with. Do I make all these black at the front? If I do that, no, I'm gonna make them all black. They need a clean. It's so dusty in here. Jonathan is a very, very, very good friend of mine as well. It's so nice to have support from your friends. The upscaler interface board I did was really simple. Did start doing a video on it, but then I need to re-record it. I sounded awful. What quality, or just you were swearing and stuff? Just being abusive. I got my solder station, by the way, Byron. So it's under here. It's the one with it's the cheapo job. The what is it? 8582D with the heat gun on the side, and it's excellent. I'm really impressed. First thing I did was take it apart, as you should with anything that with mains electric that comes from China, and made sure that the earth was connected, because they have a tendency not to be connected. There we go. Right, I've just realised that I haven't lined any of those up, and that makes me sad. Nope. These have to be. I have to have the terminals in line. Here's one. I got something else as well. I did. I've been watching a lot of Noel's Retro Lab, which is because of the my sudden interest in retro computers. So the Amiga coming from my friend Jason, which I'll talk about again in a minute. But I was already watching eBay listings for Spectrums. No one could deal with a hot air station, to be honest. Yeah, but when I have you seen Jan Beta? He's recapping of an Amiga 1200. How he gets the caps off the board. He basically uses a pair of those and twists off the SMD capacitors. Oh! I nearly cried. That was funny. Oh yeah. So everybody's got an oscilloscope, and I started looking, and this isn't. Oh, that's not it. Is it? No, it's tweezers and stuff. I bought one of those little 9-volt DIY oscilloscope kits, and it's not any good. I mean, it will do very, very basic stuff, but it works fine. But it was just a really fun kit to put together, and I needed some practice with the solder station before I tackle the Amiga. And I did the power supply as well with it. Right, I'm just tightening up these crimps. I don't want them coming off. I wish I could find some better crimps than these. Some that actually latch would be nice. It doesn't feel like I've lined that one up very well, but we've wasted enough time and I'm getting thirsty. Reese says, what are you going to do when it's finished? I barely play with anything I build fix. Straight onto the next project. Exactly. I am exactly the same. Oh, I didn't finish answering, and that's connected to that. The Out in the Wild question that I had earlier was what other machines are out in the wild? So I never finished my first build. Oh, sorry, I'll answer your question first, Reese. I'm selling it. I am not precious at all. But I would like to keep it. I would absolutely, 100%. I'm so proud of the way it seems to have turned out so far. I can't really judge myself yet because I haven't seen it complete. But I'm really proud of it. and I love it. And when I tested it before, it feels amazing, especially with the physical nudging and everything. I would love to keep it, but I can't. I haven't got the room. If I want to carry on building things, and that's my main enjoyment, comes from building stuff. Not, I mean, I am a gamer. Rich will attest to that. But, and I've been a gamer for 40 years now. Left, what's that? What is that? I've labelled that and I can't read my label. Left M. Oh, MagnaSave. Yeah, I will play it for as long as it takes to sell it. I'll be sad to see it go. Very sad to see it go. But someone else will give it a better home than me. Left flipper. And it owes me a load of money. He plays Candy Crush hardcore. I'll kick your ass at Candy Crush. I played that solidly for about 6 months. Angry Birds. Yeah, okay. Right, so what am I putting in here? I've labelled all these. So we've got exit is that one there. Actually, I've written on the board underneath they don't need these paper labels that I put on, and over on this side. So I've got left MagnaSave and left flipper. So the MagnaSave is the second button. It's a function on some pinball tables. So you only need flipper button on either side, but MagnaSave will do some different things on different tables. So left flipper, left MagnaSave, and over on this side I've got right MagnaSave and left flipper. I need to correct that. So we've got exit, which is the bottom one. I'm going to have to put my head right in your way. It's a bit dark down there. But I'm not scared. Machines in the Wild. I keep forgetting to finish that question. That's going to be a running theme tonight because I am Mr. Distractible. First machine I built was a Frankenstein with a massive bezel. This is the coin button. And a tiny screen, a massive control panel. It weighed as much as a horse, a big horse. I'm not talking like a little tiny Shetland pony or something. This thing was a Clydesdale. That's a cow, isn't it? Is it? No, there's a horse. I'm alright. Are you all naming games that I'm really good at? Thing is, Minesweeper, something I'll probably put more hours into than anything. So yeah, that machine I never finished. That ended up in the local refuse site. Well, most of it did. Almost all the wood did, because none of the wood was reusable because it's all MDF. But I learned so much from making that, and your first machine is where all of your valuable lessons come from, because you make all the mistakes. And I have pictures of it. I'll put them up on the Discord later when I can find them again. But it was a horrific thing to look at. What have I got left? This was going to be the bezel, the marquee. This is the only bit I've got left of it, I think. There we go. Oh, that way. That was going to be the marquee. I planned to, backlight this, and so the marquee was going to be as big as that section there, and this would overlap, and this would hang down under the marquee, and that was going to be the marquee. So I'm actually me and Lewis are having a little collaboration on this. I haven't forgotten Lewis. I will measure that. And Lewis is going to build me some backlights for it with his newfound electronic abilities. Right, so I've got a little bit more wiring to do here. What did I forgot to put that wire through. I got that wire out and then forgot to put it through. Oh well, we'll have to go around the outside. That's fine though. If I do that and just chuck that. So that was my first machine. All of the control panel was the thing that lasted the longest of that, because that I could actually use it like a modular control panel on my desk, and which was quite nice actually. I'd have Jason would come round and we'd play. Occasionally we'd break it out and play some retro stuff, bit of Street Fighter. Clydesdale was the Budweiser horse. Thank you, Philly Live. Clydesdale I'm thinking of because of that scene in the Santa Claus where Tim Allen goes to the doctor because he's going through some physical changes when he's transforming into Father Christmas. And he said, "You're as healthy as a horse," or something. And Tim Allen slaps his big gut and goes, "Yeah, Clydesdale." So it was a horse. Right, I must not forget to actually wire this to the... Oh, let's put it on 5 volt for now. I might actually later on... this is the fan, the cable for the fan up at the exhaust fan at the top back. So I'm putting it on 5 volt for now. I've got here, down here, I've got a connector block. Can you see? Oh, let's move you over a little bit. You're stuck on a leg. And cool. Down here I've got a connector block strip, and it's got coming off of the power supply. These are the SATA power supply cables. I've got 12 volt and a 5 volt feed there, and so I can, what I probably do to tune the fan, I might put a trim pot in there in line, and or just a resistor, but it'd be nice to actually have a trim pot so I can change the speed of it, because you want it to probably be a little bit more speedy in the summer, because this is going to be a lot of heat in here. It's got, you know, 2 screens are going to be in line with the heat path, plus this GTX 1050 Ti graphics card. I'm not sure how efficient that is for heat. I don't think they're too bad. And there's an i5 something or other in there. Right, so I'm just going to leave that there for now, and we'll wire that up in a minute to the fan when I put the door on the back. But what have I got to do here? This has got to be, that is the reset button. And that has got to go in there. This is the only thing that's weak on here. What I need to do is rewire all of these so that I can have DuPont connectors on there, and then I can have a stronger wire, because these are not very good. But that is just basically the reset button, so they don't need to be amazing. They just need to not break off. So the arcade control panel from that first machine, I missed the wire, that lived up in my loft, let's put it in that one, in here, for a few years, and made me feel bad. And it was covered in buttons. I still have some of the buttons actually. I haven't got any of the joysticks. Buttons, and it had a trackball on it. It had that Oh, that's the other. So I have got some more bits of it. That spinner on my current arcade control panel over there on the wall. Oh, I need to re-strip that. Where's my cutters? So yeah, that it made me feel bad because it had all of this potential, and I just basically was ignoring it. So in the end, I decided right at the start, when everybody started the first time building bar top arcades, decided to build a bar top arcade. And it was back when I'd first got a 3D printer. And when I made that bar top, I used a 3D printer to great effect. That one's popped out. These connectors are way too big for these wires. I really need... I want to put these wires into a smaller connector up on here so that it's easy to disconnect this if I need to move the motherboard in and out for any reason, for maintenance reasons. So this will be changed. This is bad. It's a bit embarrassing, this. So yeah, I wanted to make a bar top arcade, and I used my 3D printer to make various parts of it. I made the marquee was all 3D printed and backlit, so it was all 3D printed with green Space Invaders on it, so that the actual Space Invaders glowed brighter than the rest of the outside of it. That was really quite a cool effect. It ended up melting a little bit though because the LED lights were quite warm. They weren't very energy efficient LED lights. Excuse me. And I can show you that. The controls were mounted. That one would be better if I can get it out. I made this is a template for the control cutout that I made. What did I knock over then? Nothing. Let's put it on this camera. This yeah, this was the that way up. Oh, you can actually, this was a failed print, so it has these stars underneath here. There, and there. So this would actually be quite a lot thicker, and it had posts sticking out of it, so it could all be mounted into a control panel. And I've got another one up on the wall that's this same shape but slightly smaller that I used as a template to just cut it out of a control panel, and then I would mount all of the buttons into this, put the stick through, and just drop it into a control panel, and it worked fantastically well. That really did work brilliantly, and it again put LED lights underneath it, and it was all backlit. I'm going to have to. You need to, yeah. Oh, you've got two exhausts at the back. So you might just need to cut some holes or drill some holes. Does it get better when you actually just like open the coin door at the front? Maybe. I've got a feeling that this one's not going to have enough oomph. I might need to add fans to this. Probably. I'll keep one at the front here. I could put another one at the front. I have got room down at the front here for another fan if I need to. By design, this one will actually move over a little bit, and there's room there to cut another hole. And I've got plenty of room at the back. I can show you the back top door now, which I haven't. I do need to make a cover for this fan. I'll 3D print one, but that's just the top door. But I can just make again, although I would have to paint it again. I don't really want to do that. But that wouldn't be too difficult because it is. I've got the paint, and it would just mean lacquering it. It's not too bad, and I could just put two fans in it, or three, or whatever. So where was I? Drink first. So that machine, it was black. I wrapped it in this kind of vinyl. The whole thing was wrapped in vinyl. And it looked really good. That was the one I took to EGX 2015, Rich, we played on at your house. And I used to take that to family barbecues, and the kids, my great nephews, would play on it, and they got really, really addicted to it. They loved it. They would beg me to bring it to... oh, there's that capacitor. The bulging capacitor. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. Try and get you in focus. And turn it so you can actually see it. There we go. Bulging capacitor. Yeah, my great nephews, Harrison and Henry. Harrison watches the channel. For a very good reason. What else have I got to do here? I need to plug this in. So this is the... I think everything is... Let me just check. I haven't got anything else to sort out. No more wires hanging around. That's done. Yeah, this is the USB lead for the KL25Z. I've got a lid for that somewhere, but if you put the lid on, you can't then see the pins. So I made a big lid for the whole thing. Yeah, Harrison watches the channel. Hello, Harrison. Hello, Harry Bow. He's my niece's son, along with his brother Henry and his sister Harper. And they're lovely. Love them bits. I miss them so much. I haven't been able to see them since March last year. But so which actually brings me to I've sold the green arcade bar top on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody bought that for about 250 quid, which was a bargain. God, that would be worth so much now in lockdown. Right, I'm just putting these on loosely, so because I've got a feeling I'll have to troubleshoot before we get going. That's done. Exciters plugged in. I just need to put the power supplies in. Sold that one, and then because I didn't play it, I just basically pretty much ignored it because this is the whole reason I named the channel More Fun Making It. That whole thing about how much enjoyment I get from making something is so true. It really is what I'm like. I play something, and Reese will understand. I do enjoy playing games, but tinkering with stuff is my jam. Anyway, so I sold that one, and then what was next? Then did I make No, that was it. I haven't made that many. Which side is this going to be? Have I gone up the wrong side? That's the top. Nope. Spot on. And cutters. Need some cutters. Sold that one. And then I started getting into and interested in making another one at the end of 2019. I wanted to make something, and I started getting into woodworking in a big way. I started buying some major tools, table saws and things like that. I'll cable tidy all this later. We haven't got time for that now. And at the beginning of 2019, when I was getting into my woodworking and lockdown started, the first thing I made was a cat bench. No, I made a bird table first out of a pallet, just exploring my my potential, if you like. Need some screws for this. I'm going to put this top door in. And then I made a cat bench for my cat Gus. You may have seen Gus on the channel. Gus is amazing. But he's Well, no, I was going to say he doesn't use the cat bench, but he does. He actually does. But for the first while, he just ignored it. But it's a cat-sized garden bench. It actually turned out really well. Just made out of 3x2 CLS stud work. So it probably will rot over this winter, and we'll have to throw it away. But he's an old cat. He's not going to last that long. I wonder if the cat bench outlasts the cat. He's probably going to live he'll probably outlive me. So at the start of the year, we were making stuff like that. Me and my son were making stuff like that because it was still cold where we were working, out in the garden mostly, and it was easier to just knock stuff like that together than do anything too complicated. Oh, that's tight. That is really, really tight. Look at that fit. Need a better screwdriver than this. So when lockdown started, I started thinking about making a bar top, and I knew that I wouldn't want to play it. It wouldn't be something that I do. Actually, my control panel on the wall is all of the arcade I really need for myself. So yeah, a bar top, I haven't got the room for it, really. So I thought, who can I make a bar top for? Oh, Harrison and Henry were really disappointed when I sold my last one, and they'd expressed an interest in me making one for them, the cheeky buggers. So I did. I got his parents to pay for a Raspberry Pi and the power supply for the Raspberry Pi and everything like that, because I still had all the controls from Frankencade. Not all of them. Some of them had gone into the... Oh, nearly slipped into the paint. Some had gone into the last bar top that I built, two sets of them, but I had 4 sets. So I put together all of the bits I needed. I had a screen, I had to buy some speakers, and I had to buy the wood, some paint, but it ended up being a really, really... That looks pretty good. Budget build that looked amazing, and that was the first one that I hand painted the sides of. That one I did Batman and Spider-Man. I'm definitely going to cable manage all this later. I've got all mounting points in here for cable ties and everything, and I can put more in, but that basically goes in there like that. But I've got more cables to come up here. Do you know? And this, I always do this. I will cable tie it there, and then realise that I need to cable tie something else there as well. Anyway, that goes in here. Messed up. Can I get that out again? That cable should have been in there before the bass speaker. I'll show you. Let's point you down. It's quite dark at this end of the garage. Keep calling it a garage. It's a workshop. Sounds better. It's not a very good view here. We'll be up the interesting in soon, but this has got a cutout for this cable in here, and fortunately I haven't put this screw all the way in. We're surprisingly not very far away. There's not much more to do now. There we go. So that goes in there. I've just realised something really dumb that I haven't done. What I've done... This is my back door. That's the inside of it. That was my test paint, but this is the outside. And this goes on these hinges over here. and then closes in here. And I've not had, when I made this back door, the bass speaker wasn't there, and I forgot that part of it actually fouls the back door. So I'm going to have to cut. No, I'm not. I'm being strangely dumb here. Why don't I just move that up? That's what I should do. Can I get under there? Yes, I can. I could do this now. Should we do? We're going for complete. I haven't checked the chat. It's got, mine gets quite high. That must be why you like sim games, all the tweaks. Yeah. You can be the virtual version of my friend I showed you. Me too. That was making dog stairs for a while. On Facebook, lots of overweight dogs out there. Yeah, we made cat stairs actually because Gus, he doesn't go over the fence anymore, but he was getting really frail going over the fence, so I made him cat stairs. Can't make it into a bed. A dog can't make it into bed. I should have knocked on the door, but he wouldn't have got cold. I don't know if Terry's paused it. He might be watching from earlier. Are you live, Terry? Are you with us now? Oh, this is going to be tricky. How am I going to do this? I really don't want to take the PC out. How am I going to do this? It's got to come out. It's got to come out. What can I use? That's a good idea. Is that going to work? Right, let's put you somewhere where you can actually see what I'm doing, because you're just looking at the arse end of it at the moment. So that Beatencade was my great nephew's arcade machine. Oh, standing on the cable. That I made for them in the over the first part of the summer, and then I made the amazing Terrycade. Was the last bar top I made. Right, that's going to work if I get some way of gripping it. Probably just the small pliers. Right, I might block your view a bit here because it's really cramped. Is that going to work? Actually, I don't even need that one. Let's just use this head of this. And yeah, so Terrycade was the first thing that I videoed. Damn it, dropped it. Ah, come out. Because Beatencade is actually on, I made a blog of that because I was putting everything on Twitter. And that was being quite well received. That was quite really nice to hear people being, that were quite interested in. So then I wrote it up as a blog. I think that Satire has encouraged me to do that. I might have to come around the other side. Just do that. In fact, Satire, who's in here now, was the one that started me. I won't forget. Who said, "I wish this was a thread," because I was just tweeting every day, random stuff about building arcade machines, and he's I believe his exact words were, "Oh my God, why is this not a thread?" And I was not very Twitter savvy at the time. Look at me now! I've got 300 and something followers. I'm amazed. That's not coming out. Ah, damn it. So what I need to do is release these screws. And that is coming out actually. That's coming out a little bit. Get rid of these screws. And shift this. I can shift this up. If I nope. Oh, this is infuriating. I'm so close to being able to do this. There's just not enough to get hold of, and this is at a slightly awkward angle. Have I got something better to grip that with? Not really. Should probably grip the screw itself. Oops. Ooh. Got hold of that a bit too tight then. Let's try something bigger. Just cut the door. But the door's got... Right, this is why I don't want to cut the door. The door has this on it. And this is history to me. So I would have to... Which bit would I cut out? It goes in that way. I'd have to chop out a bit down here. And that pains me. And I don't need to cut it. I can just move that up. No. No. No, Philly. No, Philly live. I'm not cutting the door. Right. I'm going to stop being a whiny little idiot. And just move this up out of the way. And hope I don't rip any wires out. I told you this could only go one way. One of one ways. But yeah, Terricade was... that came about when I was building Beatoncade, and my neighbour Terry, we would have conversations over the garden fence, and I casually said, "I'll build you an arcade machine." And he went, "You alright?" And so I did. But the finish on that machine is just stunning. It's so good. But is it better than this one? What do you think? It's not. It's not. This is better. This is custom built, baby. Ah, look, let's do it this way. Surprisingly difficult. There we go. It's going now. Still got to get the other one out. Oh, these screws have got such a small slot in them. The screwdriver is a good fit, but they are still small enough that it does drop out quite easily. There's one out. Gotcha. Come around the other side. Well, I'm not cold anymore. This is making me sweat. Ah, this is a better angle. It's a better angle, but it's still not a good one. There we go. I'm sorry you can't see this, but I can't see it either. My hands are blocking even my view. I've got to release the bass speaker. Come on. A couple more turns. I said this will be a peril to my back in one of the tweets. Oh, this is killing my back. Oh, come on. Nearly there. Are you enjoying the old man groaning noises? Vote now. Right. I must not forget I haven't secured the PC board. So the bass speaker should now lift out. So I can take these out. These I will definitely not be fixing tonight. These will be trivial to come back later, but I'll have to drill holes for these at some point. So I'll keep the screws for them over here. But I just want the bass speaker out of the way so I can put that back door on. I don't want it just flopping around on top of the brackets. So I want the outside as finished as I can make it. I won't even bother taking them ones from the front. I just want this one out of the way so I can move this out of the way and have the back door on. Cool. Oh, that one's stuck. There we go. So that can sit there for now. I could even Velcro that to the bottom or hot glue it to the bottom. Don't even need those. Oh, one thing I have to take into account. Oh, that's good. That's all right. It doesn't need to go up that far. It just needs to move a bit. I'm thinking because underneath here is where I've got a big hole cut out underneath the bass speaker for the sound to come out. And moving it up too far would misalign it. How are you going to get the screws back in when you move it up? Same way as I got these ones out. I'll just have to persevere. I think I might just glue it in. I might just hot glue it in. I might just... Actually, no, I know what I'll do. I'll fix the feet back to the bass speaker because I want it removable. But I will epoxy resin those feet to the bottom. So I'll fix the feet to the bottom of the bass speaker, the white brackets, and then epoxy resin underneath those. Just put it where I want it, leave it there, and then I can unscrew the screws, and yeah, it will still be removable, hopefully. But that will work now that you take the motherboard out. Yes, Terry, you need to get that finished. Got to get a marquee printed for it, at least. Anticipation and pressure. 610 on the grunt. You didn't have any troubles writing. Classic hand on back was also absent. I know. I try and hide it, but all of those feelings are there. I think we can arrange that somehow. Terry, if you want to play this, like I said, I won't be, after I played it for a week, you can borrow it. Come and get it. I think we'll be 2 meters apart if I stand at one end of it and you stand at the other. Right, where are we? Let's put the PC board back in where it's supposed to go. I mustn't lift that. Somewhere around there. Is that right? Are we in? Yep. Nope. Cool. I don't expect to sell this very quickly, by the way, Terry, because I'm going to put it up quite a high price to start with. Not because I'm being greedy, because I'm not in a hurry to sell it. But if someone wants to pay the right price, which is the right price being a high price, I'll let it go sooner than I would have done. But I will just it owes me. Owes me about 900 quid at the moment. Yeah. Cool. Get it printed. I'd love to see that marquee on that. I think that would just finish it if you put the marquee in there. Right, power supplies for these. So have a look at this little mess here. Some tools away. Right, more likely to need those. Don't need that. I fixed that, didn't I? Here. So this one here is Sony Vaio laptop or netbook power supply. That's what I replaced the broken power supply for the screen with. So that is actually coming out of the pile. Put it back in the box. And being replaced by its original power supply. This one, which, where did I put the cable for that? Come here. It's still a long cable, but it's not as long as that Vaio one. But I haven't tested this yet, so that'll be interesting because I had to solder a new capacitor in there. This is one of the amps power supply, which used to be my USB caddy, like a 3.5-inch drive power supply. Oh, they're cable tied together, so that's the other one of them. They're both. So this is no brand. It's just a USB caddy portable drive. This one is from a set of lights, a set of LED lights. Can you see the brand name on that? There we go, this way. It's not focusing. Yeah, high quality. I might need to replace that. Philly Live's built a full-size cab himself with a 50-inch playfield, and I think I need back surgery after that one. Nothing more satisfying than building your own. Absolutely, I would love to make a full-size, a wide body. Now we're using an OTX power supply modded to power monitor and 2-3. I did, yeah. So I was going to just wire the amps. There's plenty of power on the PC power supply in there. It's a 220 watt, and it doesn't draw. I've seen schematics of, not schematics, people's readouts for power tests on the 1050 Ti on this exact motherboard, and I think it only draws like 100 watts, and it's got maybe a little bit more than that, but it's got like 100 watts spare. The amps aren't going to draw that much, although they do say 150 plus 150 watt on the top. That's not how much power they draw. These aren't. What are these? These are both 3 amp 12 volt power supplies. Someone will have to work out what the wattage is on those. Byron, I know you know the formula. But yeah, I could easily plumb the amps into the power supply for the PC, but that introduces noise that a lot of people have had problems with. So I just sidestepped it and plugged a couple of these in, and it's fine. Okay, let's turn you around that way. I'm not going to take you up the other end yet. I've made a boo-boo. Yeah, that's not going to work. I've put the door on, and the door is blocking the plugs. Actually, yeah, it's blocking the plugs. It's the whole reason I did cut the door like that, so that you could get to the plugs, and it still blocks them. What's the time? 9:30, or 20 past 9. Still going strong. There's plenty of life in this old boy yet. Oh, I need another drink. Right, so I need to get everything plugged in really. And then I can button this up. Ah, that's something I've not banked on. I might need to move the... Right, I'll bring you around the back here because the situation is fluid and unpredictable because this has never been together before. Okay, I'm going to have to put you here and lower you down so you can see what's going on up here. Oh, that light is blinding. Let's put you on this side. That's not too bad. So I wanted to put these in here anywhere, but I didn't realise that because I left enough clearance between the wood here and the back for the plugs. There is just enough clearance in there for these to be plugged in, but not for that that and that at the same time. So this is going to have to be moved down. I can definitely do that later. Ah, damn, that means I'm not going to be able to put the doors on tonight, unless I just actually let's just take that off and leave it in the bottom for now, and then I can put this on. Like I said, I'm not going to do cable management tonight because no one's here to watch me cable manage. No one wants to see that. I need that screw back. That's a tight and exact fit. That's when you know your table saw is square. I need to touch up a little bit of the blue paint along there actually. It's just chipped off along the edge. I might actually take the just a little shaving off the ends of this panel because it doesn't need to be that tight. It's held in by screws. Doesn't need to be a pressure fit. Right, I thought we were close, but we're further away than I thought we were. But let's get stuff plugged in. Let's get the playfield screen in and fire it up. I got all excited the other day when I was having a conversation with somebody on Reddit who was complimenting me on the paint job. And the guy that originally did this paint, the artwork on the original Silverball Mania pinball cabinet, is a man called Kevin O'Connor. And the original artwork is stunning. It's so good. So that's going to have to go there. That's fine. I can actually just countersink these screws and get rid of that, and that can sit at the bottom of that. That's absolutely fine. That's not going to be any kind of problem at all. Trivial. So Kevin O'Connor, made this this artwork originally, and the guy on Reddit said he had a Silverball Mania pinball cabinet, and the actual real thing, the real deal. And I was like, oh, wow, could you take me... Because when I did this, I had to interpret a lot of the image because there's no high-res images of this table anywhere on the internet that I could find. And it was quite a frustrating exercise actually converting. Again, thanks to one of my amazing friends, Rich, who gave me an evening's crash course on how to... why am I going that way? How to convert a rough bitmap into a vector drawing in Photoshop. And but it's a lot of work. I would have been much easier if I'd had high-res images. Anyway, I asked this guy who's got the cabinet, oh, could you get me images? Not that I need them now, but I'd still like to see them. So we need a power cable for the monitor, which is that one, and one for the PC. PC, monitor. This monitor wants one as well. Which must be that one. Yep, because that's all tied up. So yeah, I asked him, could you get them for me? Anyway, we had a bit of a conversation about the artist, and he said, "Oh, he's one of the." What he said in the chat was that I know. Well, what I read was I know Kevin O'Connor, and I was like, "Oh my God, you know him? That's amazing! Please pass on my regards, and maybe tell him that what I've done, and he'll probably hate it because all original artists hate being copied." But I still wanted him to know. And he said, oh, and he also said that he knew another guy that painted, I can't remember his name, painted the Mars Attacks pinball cabinet. What have I done here? Oh, that's fine. I think one of these should be a try. Yeah, it is. Like I said, that is incredible. You know these people. That's what a tiny world we live in. Turns out he just meant that he knew of them. He doesn't know them personally, but it was still a really cool conversation, and I got quite excited for a while. Right, so those are the amp power supplies. Let's stuff those down there. I'm not making any attempt to make this neat. For now, there's no point. These are much easier to plug in when there's no screen in the way. Oh, and I can also tip them as well. But he's going to give me, or he's going to take pictures of the, I should check Reddit, I haven't checked it for a few days. Take pictures of his cabinet. It's in his girlfriend's grandmother's basement at the moment. And he's going to, share the pictures, the images with me, which is really cool. The pinball community is so good. It's so friendly for the most part. There's obviously, in every community, there's some buttons. 280Xs do take up a lot of space in the Mini. Yeah, it's surprising, Andy, that when I was making the plan for this, I thought I was going to have so much room, but and I've seen it in like the full size cabinets where you have contactors and solenoids and everything inside there. They're quite busy. But this, there's not a lot of spare space, and I had to be quite mindful of space when I put the amps on top of the speaker, that they just clear. That might be a problem. That might be a problem. The amps only just clear. You probably want to come back up this end. Come over here. Walk this way. So the amps will foul the bottom of the screen where they are now, but I'm only going to move them like, I don't know, half an inch. So they should be alright. They should be alright. Right, so I need to plug the PC in. I need to have the monitor cable. The monitor cables. So we've got display port for the back glass monitor, which is a really nice monitor actually. I bought these at Christmas 2019, and they were to make, when I was planning to make an arcade cabinet of some kind, some description. I I spent some of my Christmas money on some second-hand parts, and I tracked down these monitors. Where does that one go? And someone was selling these two monitors. What are they? I can't remember what brand they are. They're you know, generic, not generic, but a brand. But they're IPS monitors, 5x4s. And I got two of them for 30 quid. And I was going to make just like a Pac-Man. That was going to be Pac-Man was going to be the next project after Terricade. I was going to make a Pac-Man machine, a wall-hanging Pac-Man machine. With the sides, side profile was going to be Pac-Man. But because you know the whole thing, the back end of Pac-Man being round, it wasn't going to sit flat against the wall. So it was actually going to be painted onto the wall as well. So it would hang on the wall, but would be part of the wall itself. That doesn't make any sense. Right, where's that power supply? There. Got a lot of wire hanging out the back here. All right, I need to add the reset button. Wherever I put that. It was on here. Here it is. That's the not the reset button, the power on button for the PC. That's the one that I wired onto these white wires at the front here. That is. Oh my god, it's so messy here. It's here. Can you see my hands under here? I'm just plugging that into. No, I need to crimp those. They've come loose. And that just pushes into. I've 3D printed that white panel at the back. I did recently. I had some problems with my 3D printer. I wanted to print a black one of these at the back here. I thought that might look a bit better, and I did. I printed one in black, but it didn't come out very well. So I ended up trying to spray it with my airbrush. That didn't come out very well either. So I looked at it to see what it would look like in black, and it didn't look very nice. So it looks better in white. I don't know why. So I just stuck with what I got, which was a really nice print on this piece. Right, that's just a push fit. So that's in, that's fitted. That's going to go up in there somehow. I do want to get this back door screwed in place. Oh, that's not where that goes. Sorry, I'll be with you in a sec. We're going to put the monitor in, the playfield monitor in next. Actually, look, I've made a mistake. Oh no. Idiot. Oh, can I? Yes, I can. Oh, don't do that. So I've wrapped the cable for the fan. I wrapped it around this cable, so I just needed to unplug that. I thought I was going to have to unwire it, and but no, I was being a bit stupid. I'm tired and old. Right, so that's going to just tuck in there. I think I don't think I need to get in there anymore, so let's bring you back around here, and I'll put the back door on. So you can see 2 back doors actually are going to go on next. What a mess. Oh, I better check chat and grab a drink because I'm getting right thirsty. There we go. But I knew Byron would know the formula. Watts equals volts times amps for DC at least. Okay. I'll make a note of that. Cannot turn the extension lead the other way around. I don't know. I'll have a look at that later when I do the cable management. I'm sure it does fit in there. I've just held it up. That's how you know it's a proper project. Elitty. Yo.
Gideon, how you doing? You had a lot of work to do, so a little bit late. Well, there's still plenty to do, and you haven't missed any of the best bit. Right. Screws for the back. This is this back door. It should just, yeah, this one's an easier fit. I am going to trim that top one down. Which way up does this go? Everything's got a way up, and I haven't marked it on this. I must have painted over it. So we'll just, because it's been sprayed and painted, the holes are a bit blocked up. When I got Terry Cade back after it had been to your cousin's, Terry, all of the holes were like solid, hard, enamelled paint. They all needed drilling out. Right, this is why I wanted to make sure that the back doors were all on, because I know it's the back, but I still wanted to see what it looks like. Tonight is the night I want to see what the cabinet looks like as a complete thing, with the only thing missing the coin door. But you can imagine what an oak coin door is going to look like. Yeah, oak. Because I'm going to make it out of oak. Right. Oh. Okay. This door needs that screwdriver and some of these screws and the door. I'm so fond of this door. I have no idea why. It's a bit odd. But then again, so am I. Right, so it goes on that way around. Never seen this in place since it's been painted. This is the first time it's been put back on since it was made. Oh. Turn that around a bit, I'm a bit blocked. That's in enough. Oh, thank you all for watching. This is not the most exciting thing to watch in the world. And everybody's support has been phenomenal as I've been making this. On Twitter and Discord and YouTube in the comments. It's been great. We did have a visit from the Thought Police in Discord the other day though. But I won't go into that now because all of those comments got deleted. Someone left in a huff, threw all their toys out of the pram. So we have drama as well. You should join our Discord because there's drama. It wasn't. There's not much drama. Right, so we have a locking door that I can't shut because the wires are in the way, but we will be able to when I shove them all in there in a minute. Right, that's the PC power supply. That needs to be plugged in. Over here, I've got the wrong one in there. That's actually, it doesn't really matter. I can change that later. That one goes in here. Yeah, it does matter. Can I get that in there? Is that the right way up? Sorry, I'm not really showing you much here, but oh no, it does go in there. That's fine. I bought a power supply cable specifically because of this, because there's not much clearance there. This type of power supply cable. Oh, I've got you on the wrong camera. Hi, sorry. Switch views. Sorry, yes, I should have really been checking chat. You should be on that one. Tomorrow I'm going to get my parts. You're getting your parts CNC. Oh, I had access to a CNC machine. Jealous. You pay more attention to Discord. Yes, you should, Byron. You really should. Satire. Awesome. In joke. Sorry. It is for people like us who enjoy it. Thank you. So kind. So yeah, this, now that you can see, I bought a right-angled kettle lead because the power supply faces the back of the bass speaker. It's jammed in there at the moment. It's fine. Right. Do you think it's time to put a screen in there? We're moments away, people. Moments. Right, I've got to dig the screen out. It's actually stored safely behind things. Oh, first of all... right, yes, first of all... Can I clear that? Maybe... So this bit is this bit sits in here. This was one of the trickiest things I've ever had to work out. Actually, it goes that way up. That sits in there on these two bits here, but it doesn't go past the bits that hold the glass in, that the glass is supported by. So I've made the glass rails removable. One is ready to be removable over here, but I also sprayed them black recently, and I have to remark this one, I think. No, back right, inside. Cool. Now, that might not be enough. I might need to take two out. I also need to work out... Yeah. Okay. Probably just needed to take that one out, but I'll leave the other one out for a sec. So I am getting quite tired now. Should we stop now? What a tease. Oh, that's stuck. What was that stuck on? So this one I sprayed the wrong side of this one. So that's what it's meant to look like with the writing on it saying what side it's on. But I sprayed the wrong side. So I'm just going to, in Silver Sharpie, one of the most useful Sharpies I've got. This is front right. And that is the top. Get yourself a Silver Sharpie and write on all your power supplies. Because we all come across a power supply, a power brick that you won't know what it is. Trust me. So that goes in there. And it's a reasonably tight fit. It won't move around. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill some holes in here and actually fix this in, so it can be removable. But if something, I mean, for this to move with the screen pressing it down, this would have to be on a boat and a rough sea or something, or I don't know. It would have to get chucked around seriously before that was able to be disturbed. So I'm not too worried about that. Front right. And I will screw this in and come check chat again. See, I'm quite just happy chatting to myself. Most of the time when I'm building, I am talking to myself anyway. I have missed actually the building part. Okay, Byron, take care, mate. Get a label printer. Yeah, but labels don't look as nice. They do, yeah, I suppose. Probably look better, more professional. But a Silver Sharpie is so quick and easy. We all pull together to give you a boost. Yeah, labeling cables with label printer. But okay, you've pissed on my chips now. Your idea was better. Is that the right way? Yeah. So the next project was going to be, it still might be, a bar top. But I'm going to make, it's a kind of it's a little bit of a passion project. Why is that not going in? There we go. Because a lot of the time people will make comments like, yeah, I could make that. I mean, Gideon was talking about getting these parts CNC machined, and you'll see a lot of people on YouTube making things like this, where they've got amazing tools. And I'm very lucky that I've got some really incredible tools. I've got, and my tool set has grown during this project. and I know there's a certain amount of jealousy out there, because I felt it myself. Oh, by the way, I'm doing a hyperlapse of this to go in the next episode, the last episode. So yeah, I built my first arcade machine with a jigsaw and a router, and I think that's pretty much all you need. This needs a clean. Oh, look at that. That's dirty. So the next project is going to be building. Next major project is going to be building a bar top with the minimum tools, and it's also going to be a budget build. So I'm going to use. I was going to just use scrap wood because I was offered some scrap wood by my good friend Ben, Poker Pater on Twitter. He had some scrap wood available, but because of lockdown, he lives about 20 something miles away from me. Rag was over here, so I couldn't go and get it, and he needs to. He can't really store it. Might put too much on there. It's just isopropyl. It's probably bad for screen, but it's fine. It's been cleaned with worst. So yeah, it's going to be the next project is going to be minimum tools, pretty much the minimum outlay. So it's going to be a mega budget build using as much second hand as you can shake a bunch of 20p's at, I don't know, some minimal amount of money. Have I put this in the right? Yep. Right, let's turn you around first. Thank you, Satire. It's very kind of you to say. You don't know that. I might have stolen it. I could be a massive thief. Right. Got clearance under there. So the screen, I'll show you this before it goes in, has got this matching panel on the back of it, and it's got the Visa mount screw heads actually sit proud. Okay, and it's also got two T-nuts holes, T-nuts in there, same as, oh no, they're threaded inserts. oh, I haven't got any handy, for these bolts to go through to hold this board to the other board. So the Visa mount bolts in the back of the screen that hold that other piece of wood to the screen, where they sit proud, there's 4 divots here, and when I slot the screen in here, I'll wiggle it around, and there's a little mark here that shows me where that board comes up to, because it doesn't go to the edges. This is one of the problems I had, was I couldn't make the other board go past anything that I mounted the glass on. So this had to be, this is all built around that screen. The whole cabinet is built around that screen to be as narrow and short as possible. And then all of the dimensions are worked out from that. That's how I start all of my builds. All the bar tops that I've built so far, I start with the screen and then build out from there. It's the only known quantity you've got, really, apart from the sticks, I suppose. But yeah, so those when I put the screen in here, that will drop down into there, and then I can put these up through here and fix it. I'm not sure that these are the right bolts though. How tall is that? How much clearance do I have? They're not in a dangerous place, so I can just go for it. I can always add a bolt onto each one of those to make it easier, to make it shorter. Oh, there's a knack to getting this in here. That wasn't it. I'd like to clean the screen again. Comes this way. Oh, it's just dropped down into those holes now. Well, that's something I hadn't considered. This bar actually, when you're stood above the screen, it's slightly, it's actually above there. But when you're actually looking through there, that's not a problem. I might have to do something about that small gap there. Maybe prop the back of the screen up a little bit. Let's just going to check around the back here to make sure that the screen's not sitting on the... Nope, there's clearance there. There is a gap. I can push that back. And I need to plug things into it. I haven't plugged anything into it, so it's going to have to come out. So I've got to get the cables through first. What a plonker. Right. So we've got HDMI coming up here from somewhere around here. I think it's that one. There we go. That's nice and long. And the power lead is that one. Once this is plugged in, I can shut this back door, and that's something I really want to do. I'm quite keen to do that. And right, it's going to feed these back through like that. Oh, loads of cable there. A lot of cable management needs doing here. I'm not a big cable management person. I'm quite anal about some things, but cable management doesn't really excite me. Let's have a look. Oh, that looks good. I think that's in. It is. It's in place, and I'm going to fix that screen. I'll never put these screws in while the screen has been in this position. I can't even find the screw holes now. There's not a lot of hand clearance here.
Oh, there's one. As soon as I take the bolt away, I find the hole. Yeah, it feels good. Cool. One more bolt to go in. I can see this one. Oh, I could have done both from this side. Yes, beautiful. Let me just stuff these cables in here and then bring it around the back so you can see this buttoned up for the first time in its life at the back. Oh. Ta-da! That looks really cool, actually. That looks... I'm so pleased with that. It's not the best paint job on the back. I didn't take as much pride in my work as I did on the sides and the front. Cool. Right. Oh, I missed a message. Our glass is going in next. The spec of the PC is it's a 5th generation i5. I can't remember the exact one. And a GTX 1050 Ti and 16 gigabytes of DDR3 memory. It was basically a PC that I had laying around. Right, this has a certain way of going around. So, right, here we go. What I wanted to do with this glass... I'll show you this side first. Right, I'm getting this... I'm going to have to go around that way because I've tangled the wires around so many times. Sorry I'm making you dizzy. So this glass, I was gonna use some aerosol rattle can spray to make these bezels, and I was going to paint them on the back so that you could clean the front without having to worry about it. And because you know this is hopefully never going to have to be taken out ever again. But what actually happened was I did a test with my airbrush using some black primer. I haven't got it handy, which is, you know, it's reasonably good paint. It's a paint that I sprayed the back glass box, inside box with, and the runners for the glass. But on glass, when I put it on glass, and I left it to cure for a while, and then slid the glass in, it all just peeled off. And I thought, well, even with a solvent spray, that is still going to happen. And it's not like I can scuff the back of the glass up because you're going to see through from the other side. And I was worried that you would see the scratches. So I've ended up, this is it's a kind of a temporary measure. I've used vinyl, stick-on vinyl. It actually looks really good. I'm sure it looks even better on a 1080p feed. But let's give it a clean. For this, I'm going to use paper towel. Oh no, I don't want all of it. Oh look, I've got a handy mark up here. It's a little silver arrow written with a silver Sharpie. Byron, are you still here? I suppose I could have done that with a label printer, but some of that is coming away, but that'll be fine. It'll be pressed in. Right. So this goes in here. The first bit is a bit tight when you've got too much leverage, and then it just frees up and slides in really nicely. So I have to leave it sitting a little bit proud down this way, and then the lockdown bar has got a slot cut out the back, and that goes onto that glass exactly like that, and then I push the whole thing up and that's where it goes. And then this bit up at the back, there is a gap under here. That's going to go down onto there. Actually, I might leave. No, I can't really. But that's going to be glued so that it's just about 2 or 3 mil higher than the glass. It's too high at the moment. But that's the first time I've seen it. That's the first time. Right, I need to just put these bolts in. Got a couple of bolts for the lockdown bar. Yeah, the lockdown bar completely makes it. Is this the right one? Oh, it doesn't really matter. I cut a new one the other day. I had one long one and one short one. There's a joke about that. This is why I need a door at the front. This is how a real pinball table works. You have to open the coin door to remove the lockdown bar. Normally they have like a lever that releases the lockdown bar, the metal lockdown bar on a proper pinball table. That lets you take the glass out. Last thing I need to do is clean that glass. And then I'm going to move it back a bit so that you can have a better view of it. I've also, I don't know if anyone remembers, but the piece of wood that this is screwed to, the lockdown bar, was only glued to the cabinet at the ends, and it was just like flexing in the middle. But I put a piece of wood in there and epoxy resined it. So there's a piece of wood about that long, epoxy resin, so it's attached to the front here as well now. Oh, I can't lift it at the back anymore. Oh my word, it's heavy. That's really heavy. Jeebus. Be back. Give you a bit of a profile. Oh, look at my baby. Look. Look at it. That is the first time I've seen it. Oh, we've got to turn it on. Right. I'll move it back up that way. Wish it was on wheels. I'm just going to mute you for a second while I do this because old man noises. Right. That wheel. This leg is a bit short, I think. I'm going the wrong way. There we go. These are really nice feet on these. So the whole, still not right. The whole thing with a pinball table is it's meant to be a little bit unstable. When in some of my first plans, I was going to use oak for the legs as well, which would have been amazing to look at. But there were a few problems with that, and one of them was that it was going to make the pinball table too stable, and you need it to be able to be. You need to be able to knock it. You need to be able to knock it from side to side. to knock the ball about. The bin of ball about. Right, where am I going to get power from for this? You don't need that light on, so let's... That's what that other lead was. It's a kettle lead for the actual table. That one's facing the right way, that's fine. So I'm just going to rob this one. I have no idea if this is going to work. This could, this could all end in tears now and flame. I can hear the table, the computer starting up. I need the volume. That's in here somewhere. Okay, it's got the volume hanging out there because I've no idea what that... Oh, something else I need. I need to plug in a mouse and keyboard. Or at least a mouse. Let's use that one that's plugged in to my laptop. Why am I cutting onions? I'm not crying. My allergies are crying. Oh no, I've jammed that under there. Oh, look at all the nice words. Thank you all. Rocksteady Eddie. Thank you. Yep, your timing is immaculate. So one of the reasons that I put that cover on the top of the KL25Z was because when you put your hand in here to do things like unscrewing the lockdown bar or plugging in something into that handy USB strip that I put in here, it's really easy to touch the pins on the KL25Z, and they are really sensitive to blowing up. Not exploding, but they die. They're really sensitive to... Oh, I do need a keyboard. I've got to put a password in. Passcode. Oh, we're nearly there. We're so close. Actually, that can stay there. But fortunately, I made it so that you can easily get to these. Some thought went into this. Right. 1111. Get even more out of Windows. Just stop that. Okay. Here we go. So I have to have the... Well, I haven't set up all of the software as much as I'd like, because I kind of concentrated on actually making it. Did it make some noise at the start? Did we hear that? Let's just give it a bing. Speakers, Asus Zonar. Yeah, that's the right audio device. The sound must be right down. I must have turned the sound down. Bear with me one moment. Just making it so I don't fall out. No, that sound is up. Do you know? What an idiot! Damn! I've forgotten some stuff. Which, I can't remember where I've put it. Is that it there? Yeah, that's it. No, it's not. That's not it. Is that one of them? No. So what I've forgotten to do is plug in any audio. Not just some audio. All of it. Where are my audio cables? Oh, crap. What the hell have I done with those? So there's meant to be... What would that be? That one's phono to 3.5mm jacks. That's what I'm looking for. Where have I put them? Is that it?
They should be in one of these boxes. Everything got stuffed into these. I'm so sorry. I tried to think through everything I would need to do on this build, and I've obviously missed a big old chunk. There's one. I think. No, that's not. Damn. Damn. Are you in there? What the hell have I done with that? So there's 3 sets of leads. So the PC, I can at least get that plugged in. I need a light. Where's my phone? Oh, I think I've put them away. They can't be too far away. Dum, dum, dum. Duffer, duffer. That's not a very international joke. If you would just bear with me, I can't believe I didn't spot this, because the other end of this bass speaker cable is exactly what I need to plug into the PC, into the sound card. There's the sound card. That's that one that's got to go in there. So we got a buzz. Oh, we got a boom, 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 boom. But I still am missing 2 cables for the exciters, which, to be honest, you're not going to hear anyway. And I've already tried that. Cool. So I might just go ahead without it. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, they're right here. Found them. What's that? They were in that big pile of cable that I that I was untangling earlier with all the power supplies in. Alright, so what I'm doing now is just where's my phone? Fertling around at the back here for the plugging these phono cables into the exciter amps, but you won't be able to see this. Philly Live, thanks for your sub. Right, last time I got these the wrong way round, but that's fine. That one's got to be red. So I can't remember which ones they go into, actually. Let's have a guess at... That was the exciters you heard just then. They are really good. They work surprisingly well for being a speaker made out of wood, in effect. And I reckon that one goes in. These are probably wrong, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, plug it in quick, no one will notice. Right. Needs to be louder. Definitely needs to be louder. Any requests on tables? Got quite a few on here, but might not have an extensive. Oh, there's a... I think I've got a busted speaker. Yeah, that one's not happy. What's going on there? Oh, screwed in. That'll have to do. That's fine. I can sort that out later. Oh, Reese. You thought you saw them on the table with the power supplies. It's just about to run.
It's about to run any second. Like now. Like, oh, I can't play anything with, let's do Medieval Madness. I can't do anything with copyright musicking. I would have chosen AC/DC. I don't even know if the buttons are all connected up properly. Let's turn that light off. Oh, that's loud. I need to have you far enough away that you can see the... There we go. That'll have to do for now. I can zoom you in on the rest of it later. So, coin. Oh, this always happens actually. There we go, coin. So that's credits and start.
It's a great day for testing.
I've just got to show you something. It's really loud. So the ball. You see the ball moving? If I hit the side, I need to turn that down. Oh. The sound's coming out of the exciters. Oh, I'm just going to have to live with that for now. And the plunger's not working. Oh, it's because it's a... I think it's because... yeah. It's not a launcher table. It doesn't use the plunger. So it sounds horrendous because it's coming out of full volume out of the rear speakers, out of the rear exciters, when that channel is meant to be the back glass speakers. Sounds, again, for being wood, sound pretty good. Ah. So I've got no... don't think... I've got to find a way of setting it up so that the pushing the plunger in launches it, but... or a shortcut, or maybe on one of the MagnaSave buttons. Actually, I should be playing... let's exit that. And this is not in full cabinet mode at the moment, so I still get all of the Windows stuff going on. I need... or Junkyard... try Junkyard. I just need to switch around those cables until they're in the right channels. Yeah, it's the back glass. Thomas will be on this tomorrow. Yeah, he's already played it. He loved it. The back glass video. His pin-up player thing. I can't remember what it's called. But you get video on the back glass as well, but I'll focus on the playfield now. Right, so we've got... let's go down here and stick some coins in and start. So now...
I'm Crazy Bob, and you're trapped in my junkyard.
I think there might be a bit of dust in the encoder, because that's not as accurate as it was before. Ah. I've still got to get used to actually nudging to avoid losing avoid draining a ball. It's quite a dark table. Oh, I missed that by a mile. Oh, I'm not showing the table. Thank you, Reese. Thanks for all your kind comments as well. And your shout outs. It's how the drains on this are massive. What's going on?
Get the extra ball.
Get the extra ball. So this is a table that's got some functions that you need the MagnaSave for. I don't know if I'll... Oh, I've got a multi-ball and one's just drained. Concentrating now because I've got multi-ball.
You're all right. Nicely done.
Ah.
Hot shot.
That's so cool. Oh, I'm going to play playing this all day tomorrow. That's it then. Go on, I've got many pinball excuses. I've got excuses for every occasion. But yeah, I think it is. It's been like nearly 3 hours now, and that's as done as I'm going to make it right now. So the before I go, I'm pretty pleased with the vinyl, but I realise that I've made this one too narrow. This one, although it doesn't matter, you can't actually see anything now. I've painted everything black. You can't see anything down there. They're fulfilling their purpose. So I might just leave that as it is. But I am stoked. It feels that it's not. It doesn't just look nice. It feels this is warm. It's nice. Sorry, I shouldn't keep fondling it. And that same wood going, you know, in a square across there with some kind of lock on it is going to finish it off. Been a long journey, but thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your amazing support. You've all helped me so much along the way, especially Lewis and Satire and Richard, and many others. All your kind comments have been so cool. It's been such a long build. I'm looking forward to making something a bit simpler and something a bit cheaper and quicker. One day, Reese, when you get to my age, you have a bit more table. Bird table. Get yourself a pallet. I'll send you a picture of my bird table. It's quite cool, actually. But thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to sign off there, and I'm going to turn this off and go to bed because I'm really tired. But again, thank you for watching. Good night.